Joining us now for more is ABC News contributor and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East, Mick Mulroy. Thank you so much for your time. As we see the harrowing images continuing to come out of Gaza every day, how does the U.S. military weigh concerns about civilian casualties coupled with trying to kill terrorists or enemy combatants?
So, Lindsay, this is something that the U.S. military grappled with, and the Central Intelligence Agency as well, for the last 20 years when we were involved in the global war on terrorism. Essentially, it comes down to, is there a military need, a necessity to strike a target? Anything that can be done to facilitate civilians getting out of Gaza City now, and I know it's surrounded by the IDF, needs to happen, because this is just the start, and it's going to get, unfortunately, much worse on the ground.
We're talking about nearly or roughly 9,000 estimated civilians who've already lost their lives in Gaza. What do you say to critics who are concerned that right now we know that those in the House and Congress and Senate are grappling with sending potentially billions of dollars more in financial aid? And for those who say, look, the U.S. now has blood on our hands as well. Your response to that criticism?
So the United States has a long-term partnership with Israel. We've provided security assistance for many, many years. And I think this is the time after the October 7th attacks that the United States needs to prove it's a true partner. Secretary Blinken's there right now, likely talking about that as well as the hostages and the need to continue humanitarian aid into Gaza, which is only going to get more critical as this goes on.
Do you think it is realistic to be able to destroy Hamas? And even if that is a possibility, is there a concern that some of the children who are being orphaned and seeing this bloody devastation that they're living through right now, that could potentially turn them to some really extreme ideology?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, one of the factors that we used to consider before we went on operation is this operation going to take more enemies off the street than create more enemies in the future? They're going to have a very difficult time destroying Hamas. There's no doubt about it. The issue is, how do you keep them from reconstituting themselves? And how do you prevent the next generation of Hamas fighters by how you executed this military operation? Those are things that I think that we can help them with, and hopefully they heed our advice.
How concerned are you as this conflict drags on about a broader regional war?
So, Lindsay, I'm very concerned. I think if you look at the common factor in most of the groups in the region that are hostile toward Israel and our interests, quite frankly, it's Iran, right? So Iran provides 90% of the military support to Hamas. They fund Hezbollah up in Lebanon. If they coordinate an attack on Israel, that could be extraordinarily difficult for the IDF to defend. There is a strong likelihood that the United States would become involved directly militarily. And that's why we put those 2 aircraft carrier strike groups in the Eastern Mediterranean.
The Wall Street Journal is out with a report that Russia's Wagner group plans to send air defenses to Hezbollah. What would that mean for this conflict?
So I assume that's Russia trying to become part of this war. I don't know that it would add much of a difference. I think we could easily take out their air defense systems before the necessary air strikes. But it certainly shows that this is a concerted effort by our adversaries who look at this as a vulnerability, obviously to Israel, but also to the United States, and they're trying to exploit it.
Mick Mulroy, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.